Yeah, good question. I mean, traditionally, when people think machine learning within retail, usually people think of things like recommender systems for online shopping and those kind of things. And those things are important. But there are a lot of applications within the kind of operational space also that have potentially a lot of value by providing people in the organizations with smarter, better tools to do their jobs more effectively, so that people can do the things that they are good at.
Mm-hmm.
Process optimization and kind of operational aspects.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of potential there. Yeah, so I mean, the practical consequence of COVID-19 has been people staying at home a lot more, not going out as much, and also because of that, some businesses have to scale down or maybe even in some cases close down. And this, of course, affects for example, our suppliers or the manufacturers of the products that we sell. It affects their production, possibly. And that in turn affects our supply side, what products are available to us as a retailer. And then there's another aspect, which is when people spend more time at home, we see that they focus on maybe improving their environment at home. They want to maybe have a PlayStation or something because their children is going to be at home all day, or I don't know. Maybe they want the indoor climate to be better. Maybe they buy other types of products. So basically, we can see shifts in the trends of which product groups are the most popular, and those shifts can also be quite dramatic from day to day. So they can change quite quickly. To plan our distribution in a perhaps a different way, do things a little bit differently. Work with together with our suppliers and partners in maybe different ways than we haven't done before. Let's see. Try to help customers who cannot come into the stores to still be able to get the products that they want basically. So, for example, by delivering products in the parking lot to customers who purchase, maybe you can purchase something online. You go to the store, but you don't go into the store. We will come out and bring the products to you in your car, for example. We've also had or actually used a solution where the customer from their couch at home can call a salesperson in our physical store from their phone or from their home, and the salesperson in the store will help them to maybe find a refrigerator that fits inside of their kitchen, so they can show them the video of this is what my kitchen looks like, and then the sales staff will be able to tell them, oh yeah, you probably want this or that. And that has been quite popular. It requires you to kind of think differently and implement new ways of doing things rather quickly as well. So we have a department actually who is responsible for that, sustainability and finding better ways of doing things for the environment. I mean, there's the aspect of repairing, fixing products, and then refurbishing things and selling them again, possibly, either secondhand or reusing things rather than just throwing them away. Either here or maybe in a different part of the world, so that's one aspect of that, ensuring that everything is done properly when it comes to the disposal of products, so that's done in a responsible way. We provide services where we will go to the customer's home and bring the old dishwasher or whatever and recycle it properly when we deliver the new one, for example. You've probably seen around, sometimes you'll see people just leaving old appliances out on the street, right? That's no good. We can work with our suppliers as well to minimize packaging, for example, or try to have different kinds of packaging that is more environmentally friendly, for example. I see that there's a lot of potential there, but the main issue there is there's very little data available to work with at the moment to at a sufficient degree of sufficient quality and quantity of data. But we do work with the data that we do have available to try to, for example, analyze the reasons for why certain products are returned or the failure rate of the products, like how likely are they to fail in year 1 or 2 or 3, or and working with our partners, our suppliers, also to improve upon the situation. But a lot of this data exists in many different systems, also outside of our organization. So the effort of kind of gathering and curating all of the data to have like a good data set to work with is that still needs to happen. And I think to do that, it's really like a collaborative effort between Elkjøp and our other organizations, retailers, and also manufacturers of these products, and other organizations who work with the questions of sustainability and environment in general. That's a tricky question. I guess the first thing is to make sure that this is actually something that is supported within the organization from the top level, something that is really supported and also funded properly. To do anything, you need to have data of sufficient quality, and you need to have the data first. So if you don't have anything from before, I seriously doubt there are a lot of retailers that don't have anything from before, but let's imagine that's the case. You would probably need to start by gathering all the data from various processes, systems, tools, and kind of centralizing that, structuring it, modeling it, and kind of creating a nice data sets to work with. And that requires a considerable amount of effort, in tandem or afterwards, depending on your context. Starting to use that data to answer business questions or identifying pain points in your business processes and work processes that could potentially be improved by use of data-driven products or services. Prototyping, testing different ideas, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and then choosing 1 or 2 things to proceed with, and then of course implementing that in a way that is easy to maintain is tricky. So then you need to kind of incorporate more like DevOps practices and more more software engineering practices, I would say, to ensure that things are running smoothly. But if I had to set it up from scratch, I would start by finding some 1 or 2, let's say 1 or 2 very skilled, competent data engineers who are with a lot of experience, who can go and gather all the data sources together and start structuring that, creating like a data warehouse of some sort because a data science or a scientist or a data science team would need something like that to work effectively. You could also just, some organizations, data scientists are actually the ones who do this part as well. So it depends on how you slice and dice this, I guess. But I think it's more productive to have a group, a team responsible for capturing all of the data, gathering it in one place, cleaning it, sanitizing it, validating it, and then governing it, like making it available to the right people with user groups and user access roles, etc. Depending on the size of the company, depending on the context, you might need, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many you would. But my personal preference, I don't like any team. I don't like that the team size is much bigger than like 9 people. I find that to be not productive. So like 7 to 9 is a good team size, and I would generally prefer not to go over that size. So let's say from 1 to 9 then people to do that first aspect, and then you can decide when you want to have when it makes sense to have a data science team or a group of analysts or data scientists, whatever you want to call it, who work with that data.